What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and today I want to talk to you about some of the things that our most successful clients have in common when it comes to successfully creating content. So that's always been one of the biggest challenges that we've had as a content marketing agency, is to consistently be getting good quality content from clients. When I first started in the agency, I was thinking that everybody kind of, especially like the clients we were trying to bring on, that the people wanted to be creating content. They had something to say. They knew what they needed to do. And they just needed somebody to technically do it for them, maybe give them a little bit of guidance in terms of strategy. But quickly, I realized that one of the biggest problems that people ran into is they really didn't know what they should be creating content around. And then as we started to work with people to actually create that content, we started to notice that there were, some pretty common pitfalls that everybody would fall into that would make it a little bit more difficult. So over the years, we have really fine-tuned the system, and we've tried to plug in any kinds of holes that are probably going to come up at some point, before they become an issue. So just like with anything, some of our clients are really great, really compliant, take everything that we say and go and implement. Then others that tend not to listen as much and don't get as much of the things done that we need from them, because there's, obviously when you're a content marketing agency, you can only do so much without the input of the client. So we're going to focus on the ones that do a great job today, and what are some of the characteristics that I see in them that I think that if you took these and emulated them, that it would make things a lot easier when it comes to your content creation. So none of these have anything to do with anyone's personality, whether they're an introvert or an extrovert, or a narcissist that just loves to be on camera. These are things that anybody can control, anybody can implement for themselves, and that's just as a side note, I think that that's a really important thing when you are when you're taking advice from people. Is you don't want to, take advice around like this unicorn situation. A lot of times when you see, like the Gary V's or the Russell Brunsons or Frank Kerns of the world that are just like content creating machines, they're great presenters, they're great sellers. A lot of times those people are very unique individuals, even within the profession. When you see other people that are just great at creating content, whether it be written or video, you look at them and you're just like, man, I wish I could do that. And sometimes it's just like that person has just a very unique situation or a very unique personality that allows them to be as successful as they are. What I always have focused on with leverage clients is creating things that just your run-of-the-mill average chiropractor could implement and be successful with. So when you are, trying to create strategies, I see this a lot on Instagram. Somebody will have, or YouTube is like this too. Somebody will have, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers or subscribers. And you'll be like, man, what did they do? And as a local chiropractor, a lot of times those people are are trying to, sell courses or swag or equipment, and they are creating a national audience, whereas you maybe just are creating a local audience. So taking advice from those people may not really translate into the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So that's just kind of a side note in when it comes to stuff like this, where it's like, if you're going to get the advice, make sure that it is relevant and actionable for you. All right, so the three traits that I think are super important when it comes to creating good, consistent content. Number one is they schedule it out. So we have deadlines to turn in content, and we spend a lot of time, just like, I would imagine anyone that deals in deadlines. We have a lot of clients that wait until the last minute to create their content. It tends to get rushed. It tends to get thrown together more than those that schedule it out. So what I usually recommend is figure out if you are a consistent creator of content, or if you like to batch content. So I've talked about this before. I'm more of a batch guy. I would much rather create a bunch of content at one time when I've got the energy and the motivation to get it done, than have to do a little bit all the time. So you need to decide what you are, but regardless of what you are, you need to make sure that it's getting scheduled. So if you're a once a week person, then you are gonna put that on your schedule. If you're a once a month, it's once a month. And you have to make sure that you plan enough time to be able to create whatever you're gonna create. But whatever frequency you want to be creating content, decide how much content needs to be created in that sitting, who needs to be involved, coordinate schedules, make sure that they know that they need to be there. There's nothing worse than scheduling time to shoot video, and the person that you thought was going to be the patient in the videos needs to go to a doctor's appointment, or needs to drop their kid off, or whatever the thing is. Make sure that that is scheduled not only for you but for anybody else that's going to be involved, whether they're shooting it or whether they're going to be in the videos. So tip number one is schedule that content. Tip number two is, the trait number two is the ones that I find are the most successful are the ones that look at the content in the long term. So they're focused on the long-term benefits of creating good, consistent content. They're less concerned about the short-term metrics of any individual video, or how did it do this week or this month. They may look at the metrics of how things are going in terms of interaction, or interaction. Sometimes people will convert even early on, depending on the video, how relevant it is or how good it is. It can get people in right away. The people that I think do the best with it and are the most consistent is they have that long-term vision for it. They realize that they are trying to do something over the next decade, 20 years, 30 years, where every piece is a piece of the puzzle versus that is the answer, end all, be all. So having that long-term focus, not getting discouraged if each video you create isn't a home run. We are in the business of singles. I grew up as a baseball player, loved it my whole life. And, you get into the Hall of Fame if you get 3 out of 10 at bats or hits. And it's the same idea with content. If you're always looking for that grand slam, if you're always looking for something to go viral, you're going to end up just getting disappointed. You're going to end up not sticking with it. But if you just pay attention to focusing on each video just being a small win, a small win, a small win, they'll start to accumulate over time. And then the third trait is the people that are the most successful with it, I think, are the ones that take it seriously. So they are the ones that are thinking through what the content should be about. I've seen a lot of video that we've gotten from clients that has been mailed in, that has, you can tell, like, it just kind of got rushed, got thrown together just because they needed to get it done. And the ones that, they take the time to think it through, they take the time to maybe not so much script it out, but, think of those bullet points of what's really going to matter. What's a story I could tell that connects with people, about this specific piece of content. So the more seriously you take it, and the more important that you think it is, the more it will impact people when it actually gets in front of them. So that one, it's you shouldn't be creating content just for the sake of creating content. You should be creating content because you're trying to be helpful. You're trying to reach people that are out there suffering, that maybe don't know that that what we can do can help them. And you take that mindset into it and that energy into it, and you're going to have really great results. So just to recap, trade number one, get it scheduled, get it on the calendar, write it down, try to be as consistent with, if it's always the first Tuesday of the month, or if it's always Wednesday mornings, or, Thursdays at lunch, whenever the content shooting or writing time is, and I would probably separate those just because it's, kind of two different things, but just make sure that it gets on your calendar. Trade number two is taking that long-term vision, really not worrying when it comes to content, not worrying so much about how many new patients walk through the door because of this individual video, but think of it more as, a brick in a wall that keeps getting built. And then number three is put that energy into it, put the effort into it, make it as good as you possibly can. Once you've come up with the idea of what that video is how can I make it more visually appealing? How can I explain things better? How is it that I can, get people engaged in the content? So hopefully that helps a little bit, just sharing some things that I've seen in some of our most successful clients when it comes to consistently creating content. So implement these. Let me know if you need any help with anything, and we'll see you on the next one.